So, I'm at this party, right? It's one of those things where you know like 3 people, and you spend the whole night trying to look busy on your phone. Anyway, I see this girl. She looks vaguely familiar, like maybe we went to the same high school, or maybe she was in a commercial for a regional bank. I couldn't place it. I walk over trying to be smooth. I say something incredibly charming like, "Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?" She just smiles. Then she says, "Yeah, Aziz, we dated for 6 months in 2018. Oh, right, that's where I know her from." My brain completely deleted the file. It's wild how our minds just protect us from our own romantic history, isn't it? Dating is basically a series of these moments. You meet someone, you think they're amazing, you spend every waking moment together, you start using the word "we" for everything. We should totally get a plant. We love that new taco place. Then, one day you realize we have very different ideas about what to watch on Netflix, and that's just the beginning. The small cracks start to appear. Suddenly the cute way they chew their food becomes the most annoying sound in the entire universe. It's a slow-motion car crash you can see coming from a mile away, but you're still strapped in for the ride. You just brace for impact and hope the emotional airbags deploy correctly. I once dated a girl who was obsessed with escape rooms, like that was her big thing. For her birthday she wanted us to do a super hard zombie-themed one. I hate zombies. They have terrible skin and they're so aggressive. But I did it. We're in this dark room, a guy dressed as a zombie is moaning in the corner, and we're supposed to be solving puzzles. Instead we're arguing about a code. She's yelling, "It's obviously the number of books on the shelf." I'm yelling back, "It's the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. We never escaped." The zombie guy eventually just opened the door for us. That relationship ended a week later. I guess some rooms you're just not meant to escape from together. The whole process feels like you're auditioning for a role you're not even sure you want. You put on your best shirt, you have a few funny stories ready to go, you pretend to be super interested in their job, even if they're an artisanal dog food curator. You do all this work, and for what? For the chance to maybe see them again and do it all over. It's a bizarre modern ritual. We're all just out here, collecting X's like they're Pokemon cards. Except instead of trading them with your friends, you just try to avoid them at the grocery store for the rest of your life. It's a very strange game. Breakups are like a terrible buffet. At first you're just sad. That's the main course. A big steaming pile of sadness. You listen to sad songs, you watch sad movies, you look at old photos and think, "Wow, we were so happy. What happened?" You might even cry into a pint of ice cream. It's a classic for a reason. But then you move on to the other dishes. There's the anger station. Why did they do this? How could they be so selfish? You draft a bunch of angry texts you know you shouldn't send. But man, it feels good to type them out. You might even send one. Or 7, it's a real emotional roller coaster. After the anger, you hit the bargaining section of the buffet. This part is just embarrassing. You think, maybe if I just change this one thing about myself, they'll come back. You start thinking about getting really into fitness, or learning French, or suddenly developing a passion for their favorite boring hobby like birdwatching. You're convinced that if you can just present a new and improved you, they'll see the error of their ways. This phase is fueled by desperation and a complete loss of dignity. You might even send a "Hey, just thinking about you" text at 2 a.m. We've all been there. It's a dark, dark place. Then comes the weirdest part of the breakup experience, the social media investigation. You become a digital Sherlock Holmes. You're not just looking at their profile, no, you're looking at who liked their latest photo. You're checking the profiles of those people. Who is this new person? Why are they hiking together? You start creating entire narratives in your head based on a single Instagram story. It's a full-time, unpaid job, and the only payment you get is more anxiety. You're basically torturing yourself with information you don't need. It's the modern equivalent of driving by their house, only way more efficient and soul-crushing. Eventually, you get so full from the breakup buffet that you just feel sick. You can't eat any more sadness. You're tired of the anger. You're too exhausted to bargain. This is the turning point. This is when you realize you have to push the table away and walk out of the restaurant. Moving on isn't a single decision. It's a series of tiny little choices. It's choosing not to check their social media. It's choosing to delete their number. It's choosing to go out with your friends instead of staying home and re-watching that show you used to watch together. It's slow, it's messy, but it's the only way to get better. After a breakup, you're basically a broken piece of software. You're glitchy, you keep crashing, you need a major update, and that update is called self-love. It sounds like a cheesy thing you'd see on a coffee mug, I know. But it's real. It's the process of remembering who you were before you were part of a we. What did you like to do? What music did you listen to? What were your goals? For a while, your identity gets all mixed up with someone else's. Now, you have to untangle it. It's like separating two headphones that have been in your pocket for a week. It's frustrating, but you gotta do it. This is the time to be incredibly selfish. In a good way. You want to eat cereal for dinner? Do it. You want to spend a whole Saturday playing video games in your underwear? Go for it. No one is there to judge you. This is your chance to rediscover your own personal brand of weird. I remember after one breakup, I got really into making miniature furniture. Why? I have no idea. I spent a weekend building a tiny chair out of toothpicks. It was the ugliest chair you've ever seen. But it was my ugly chair. I made it, and it felt weirdly empowering. You have to find your own version of a tiny, ugly toothpick chair. This is also when you reconnect with your friends, your real friends. The ones who saw you through the whole relationship. The ones who listened to you complain about your ex for hours. They're still there. They're the support system that never breaks up with you. They're the ones who will drag you out of the house when you want to wallow. They'll remind you that you're still a fun, interesting person, even if you're not in a relationship. They're the ones who will tell you to please, for the love of God, stop talking about your ex. And you need to hear that. Friends are the essential antivirus software for a post-breakup heart. Self-love isn't about grand gestures. It's not about taking a solo trip to Bali, unless you want to. It's about the small things. It's about taking care of your body, eating a vegetable once in a while, going for a walk. It's about being kind to yourself when you have a bad day. It's about learning to enjoy your own company. Being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. It can mean freedom. It's the freedom to watch whatever you want, eat whatever you want, and build as many tiny, useless pieces of furniture as your heart desires. It's about becoming a complete person on your own, so you don't need someone else to complete you. Have you ever noticed you kind of date the same person over and over? They might look different, they might have a different job, but the core issues are the same. It's like you're starring in a romantic comedy that just keeps getting rebooted with a new cast. You keep falling into the same traps. Maybe you're always attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable. Or maybe you're always the one who cares more. You're stuck in a pattern, and you're the only one who can break it. It's like realizing you've been ordering the same thing at a restaurant for years and it always gives you a stomachache. Maybe it's time to try a different dish. The problem is, we're all looking for a finished product. We want someone who is ready. Ready for commitment, ready for a relationship, but nobody is ever fully ready. We're all just works in progress. We're all a little bit broken. The challenge of modern dating is finding someone whose specific brand of broken is compatible with your specific brand of broken. It's about finding someone who is willing to work on their issues while you work on yours. It's not about finding someone perfect, it's about finding someone who is perfect for you, flaws and all, and that's a much harder search. So how do you avoid the same old story? You have to become a student of your own mistakes. After a breakup, you need to do a post-game analysis. What went wrong? What was my role in it? What were the red flags I ignored because I was so excited about the green flags? It's not about blaming yourself, it's about learning. It's about identifying the patterns, so you can spot them earlier next time. The goal is not to become cynical and close yourself off. The goal is to become smarter. To date with your eyes open, not just your heart. Ultimately, every relationship, even the ones that end in heartbreak, teaches you something. They teach you about what you want, and more importantly, they teach you about what you don't want. They teach you about your own strength and resilience. Moving on isn't about forgetting the past, it's about integrating its lessons so you can build a better future. It's about being brave enough to try again, knowing that it might not work out, but also knowing that it just might. And that possibility, that tiny glimmer of hope is what keeps us all swiping, texting, and showing up for that awkward first date. Here's to the next chapter.